Any director's comments?
Yeah, just one thing has come up yesterday, March 18. Bob Berglund passed away. He's a former Mud 6 director. He's was up there in age. He was a member of my church, and hopefully we'll get information on funeral arrangements. I'll pass that on.
Yeah, he was a really good director, a really good person.
Yeah.
Wonderful wife.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you.
Vicky, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
voice.
Yeah, I know, I knew that I knew the name, but I couldn't place it. Yeah, Vicky, yeah.
And he made it tonight.
Wow. I guess we don't have any requests for adjustments. So moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda or the corrections?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay. Moving on to, actually, item number 9 does not apply to us.
Okay.
So we will move on to agenda item number 10, which is to receive the regular monthly SJR Woodlands Division report, including any updates on operations, projects, and public outreach.
I don't see SJ here.
They're at the water conference this week with Texas Water. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to relay it or try to answer.
It's pretty comprehensive. Okay, all right, so ready for our attorney's report?
My name is Gordon. I'm covering for Brian today. The only item I have to share is that at the most recent trustee meeting, Mr. Yates went over some legislative updates that was working through the system. So if you're interested in what's going on, the video of that meeting is a good place to start. If you have any follow-up questions after watching that, please let us know.
Thank you very much. Receive and or act on the general manager's report, which I want to just tell you that I really liked it.
Very nice.
Very informative, lots of information. So thank you.
And I totally agree. I mean, this is really comprehensive. Soup to nuts. Seriously. Was this you? Team. Okay, well.
Yes.
Very nice
Well
report.
done.
Very nice.
I mean, it's all laid out, straight up and down. It's easy to follow. I do have one suggestion, under projects, MUD 6, we have this big redevelopment of the Grogan's Mill Village Center going on
Exactly.
with the new library and community center being constructed, as well as upgrading of the shopping area. I don't know if that would have any impacts on water or wastewater. I don't know anything about that side of it.
To add it to the.
Well, I would suggest if it.
So I.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine the senior center and library would have a lot more demand than what you had.
Well, yeah, I mean, I presume that would be
Yeah.
the case, so
Yeah.
it's just worth noting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll pull it, get the detail and get it added on here.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah, and what typically will populate or trigger something to go in here is when we receive new drawings coming in.
Yeah.
So we won't keep it on there, for the entirety of the project, but just to give a notice to the boards that, hey, here's something that's coming. We've seen drawings, et cetera. So.
I did ask, sorry.
Rob, this is just a real aside to this, but I've heard that there's a grocery type store, organic store that might be moving into Panther Creek Center.
Sprouts.
Sprout, yeah.
Sprouts.
Perhaps it's
Sprout, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think they're taking only part of Randall's because they didn't have the same agreement that we had in the Grogan'sville Village Center, so they were able to divide it up.
They're also not big. They don't take it. Their storage a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Right.
See, we couldn't,
The footprint, right, the footprint for the grocery store in Grogan's Mill had to be the same size. They couldn't cut it in short. But in Panther Creek, you could.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at, under customer service work orders,
What page?
page 37. So my rough arithmetic tells me that Carlos and Joshua made 522 stops. So we take that as a 20-day work week. That's 26 a day between the two of them. They're moving.
And they're not working 5 days a week though either.
Yeah, but they're, yeah, well, I was thinking that, but,
A lot of those are truck rolls, though. I think this data is gonna be better refined once we get. the
oh,
new-
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because some of those get closed electronically. It's a little
Okay.
bit misleading, yeah.
okay.
So you report it based on close date.
Well, just new services, so there's that many, but not all require a truck roll.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's definitely the calls that we responded to one way or another.
Right.
They weren't all truck rolls.
Okay,
Necessarily.
so they, like a verbal.
Someone we could handle, yeah, it's still something we had to deal with.
Yeah. Okay. Here I was thinking they'll be driving at 50 mile an hour on the interstate, trying to get caught up with all the issues.
Self-driving
We
car.
definitely improved that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they got special from the police department,
Yeah.
speed limits. So. Okay, was there anything you wanted to add to the general manager's report, or are we good?
I have a few more things to cover.
Go for it.
Okay, wanted to also update you on some building improvements, see the new TVs, and you'll continue to see new improvements such as that. Next thing we're gonna be working on is a customer interface in the lobby to have actual examples of what a meters and pipe and a fire hydrant and valves and your clean out cap. So things that we would talk to you about maybe on the phone when you have an issue, or educate folks on what these things look like if you do have an issue. So we'll kind of build that in the lobby. That's next.
Yeah, I was hoping you're gonna show that saddle tap video, but that's okay. It's a competition.
Yep.
So that's under still under the manager's on page 36, but it's a pretty exciting video. I recommend it.
Indeed.
So, sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Wanted to update you on the GRP. Did have our first meeting as the rep, your rep. And as I noted last month, I would present at the trustee meeting, and then it would be documented or summarized for you in your trustee report. So there's a good summary of what I reported at the trustee meeting on what went on at the GRP meeting. Long story short, James Corn was voted to be the chairman. I was voted to be vice chair by the committee. And then you can read it, but there was some long discussion on some Lone Star and Aquifer things, as well as I'd asked for an agenda item to be placed on the agenda for all the committee members to come next month and explain what everyone's goals are as they represent their various entities. So we'll be doing that on Monday as the next meeting. I also followed through with my commitment to bring Brad Hauk into the mix, and Kim and I are meeting with him in between GRP meetings, just to kind of rehash what went on at the meeting and talk about the next meeting. So we'll continue to do that as well, as I committed to do. So things are going well there. Next community work group meeting is April 2nd. Wanted to report that. We'll be talking a little bit about last one. We talked about kind of relationships between the different entities here and how funding and projects get formed. This next meeting, we'll get into a discussion on more specific projects, particularly the renewal projects that are ongoing, and then we'll give an update on the AC and sewer projects that they're under evaluation still. Did want to let you know that on Monday, I was at the state capitol testifying on a bill, House Bill 1335, which would require Class B utilities, basically water and sewer utilities, to be a part of the 811 utility locate state call center. And there's a number of, ramifications related to it that aren't necessarily good for us. So I testified with 3 other colleagues in the water business to oppose that. So we'll see where it goes.
So what committee is that in?
Energy Resource Committee.
Okay.
We met with the committee at the committee hearing on Monday.
Okay.
The dates for the Allmuds meetings have been set. April 1st is the first one. May 8th and June 10th. All those will be likely 5:30 in the evening, and they'll be across the street at the community center where early voting takes place in that building. And we'll plan to have food to start, and then we'll get rolling. The first meeting will be purely wastewater treatment plant update by Corello. Second one will be more of that, probably talking about the matrix. And then the third one will be kind of a wrap up of the treatment plant, and then we'll get into HDR's presentation on the AC water line condition-based assessment. So that's at least the plan right now. We'll see. We may have a backup date also as a fourth if needed, but we'll see where it goes. Yeah. We do continue to run the ditches right now. We are going to start doing some actual work. We're about halfway done getting through all the ditches, and I think that we've seen enough to know that we need to get rolling on fixing some things, at least as it relates to fitting within each district's budget. So we're kind of starting to now identify some immediate things and looking at the budget to make sure that we do have funds within each mud to tackle each thing that we have to deal with, whether it's most of the more immediate things would be a failing pipe that is causing a sinkhole type of situation. We've got those all over the place. So, which is what we budgeted for last year. I anticipated we would have those, and we do. So, no surprise there.
They were metal pipes originally, and they're pretty
We
good.
call them CMP, corrugated metal pipe.
Yeah.
You've seen them in
And they're
ditches.
replaced with something more durable.
HDPE, high density polyethylene,
Okay.
black plastic
Yeah,
pipe
yeah.
is what they're replaced with. Yep. Lasts a little bit longer to the rust, to
Yeah,
the corrosion.
exactly.
Still get hit by the mowers, but they don't rust. That's all I had, other than throwing it to John to get the communications report.
Afternoon.
Hey, John.
Right, you have a report starting on page 43. We're now in the second quarter of our strategic plan, so we've shifted our focus from telling our story to water quality. So you'll see that come through in our materials for the next few months. And also going to see a lot on lawn care and lawn watering as people start to ramp up for the season, and we remind folks of effective water efficient ways to do that. So, your annual reports went out with your last water bill. So those got mailed out, they got emailed out, they live year round on your MUD page. We're going to distribute those in a couple more ways. And so I'm waiting for all of that to come to fruition, and then I'll bring the metrics back to you next month on how effective that was and the kind of reach we got with that. So, on page 44, if you didn't catch the write-up on Eric's presentation to the township board, you can find that on Hello Woodlands. So we got some nice press out of that. The township put that in their e-newsletter as well. We're doing more and more with Hello Woodlands, as well as Woodlands Online. We do have a piece of Woodlands Online right now on page 45. You can see that. You can QR to it. So that's on transparency surrounding our water renewal efforts. All the information we're bringing forward through the dedicated website and other means, community working group and so forth. So some nice press there. Couple pieces in the Woodlands Community Magazine. Just above that, you can see we've got one on helping customers keep their water bills low. And then you can find a full separate article on page 50. Did a piece on residential consumption in 2024 and how that stacks up to previous years. Page 46, you'll see the upcoming water bill ad that is on the defined irrigation schedule. Reminding folks that's always in effect. And then our outreach calendar there at the bottom, 46. I'll be out at the farmers market this Saturday, and we have a few more engagements lined up at this point. Should be adding to the calendar as we go along. So hope to see you out there.
You get a lot of traffic at the farmer's market?
Some, I wouldn't say it's real high volume, but the folks that come and talk to us, we get some really good conversations out of. Folks want to stay and visit and are open to a lot of information. So it's been worthwhile so far.
I'm putting beside the coffee stand. There's always a long line there.
Yeah.
And then the bread stand.
Strategic placement.
Angela's
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
That's all I got.
Okay, how about the trustees meeting?
Okay, the starting report starts on page 47. Just wanted to just highlight one thing, really. There was a refund from SJRA. This will be voted on and approved. And MUD 6 from SJRA, at least at this point, 269,000, almost 270,000. However, there's a cash call from Woodland Water to manage reserves. And also there's a Holloway extension. Holloway is the consulting company that's working through public communications, running the community working group, et cetera. So they're now extended out to the end of our financial year. And that's my report.
Any questions? Okay, any reason to recess into, okay. All right, any items for future agendas? Okay. Adjourned.